Buenos dias. Good morning. Hola. How are you doing this morning? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. This is Ken at 10. It's where you should be every morning at 10 o'clock. If you haven't been before, where have you been? Come back, please. And welcome. Thank you for joining us. Every morning at 10 a.m., we come on and we're based in Southwest London, estate agents. My name is Ken Hume and we're James Alexander Estate Agents based in SW16. Come on every day. Chat about all things property and just things in general, really. How are you today? I love Fridays. I don't know why. There's always the anticipation of the weekend coming. And this week, it's been that week, I think. I don't know what you're thinking, but my thoughts are about the transition from summer to autumn and really noticed a change in the seasons. It's not a complaint. I quite like the change in the seasons in the UK. But it does feel kind of sad when you're thinking, yeah, is it time to bring that garden furniture in? Probably. Is it time to put it all in the shed again and, bring down the awnings in the garden and all those chairs and I'll think of all those fun evenings outside and maybe it's, rain again. What do you do? There we are. Anyway, apart from that, it's bank holiday or bank brolly day as it usually is. And it looks no different this year. We'll see. I hope the sun comes out for you if you're doing something special. Obviously, we've got the children going back to school next week. That's a big anxiety for many, I know, in these strange times. Few things property-wise. Virgin Money have brought out a new 90% mortgage. And that's significant because 90% mortgages are rarer than hen's teeth these days. But what's interesting to me about it is they brought it out only on the basis that you take out a fixed rate for 7 or more years. You can take a 7-year fix or a 10-year fix at 90%. And you can understand where they're coming from. They're saying, well, okay, but we want stability and security. We want to know that exactly what the rates will be. And therefore, it's going to be fairly solid as far as you're concerned. Apart from that, larger houses. I wanted to talk to you about larger houses. One of the things that we find in September is that a lot of the smaller houses sell in the springtime. And this year's been a bit odd because it's been a little bit later. But we've sold lots of smaller houses. And that effect tends to knock onto the medium-sized houses over the summer and then towards the larger houses in September, October. And I think this year will be no different. So we've got a few big houses coming up. And we've noticed an uptick in the number of people looking at the larger houses in the local area. So I always find that, the families, once the children go back to school, mum and dad get a bit more settled, a bit more ready maybe to think about a move. And this year with the stamp duty incentive, I think it'll be nuts. Certainly the diary is suggesting so with the amount of new valuations coming up. Lots of maintenance going on as well, because when it rains, everybody discovers leaks and discovers whether their heating works or not. And obviously we have a lot of managed property, hundreds, and we like to look after them, make sure they're all right. So in terms of that, lots of maintenance jobs coming up. And I was thinking what are the most unusual maintenance jobs we've had. And I always remember a few years ago, we had a guy moved into a property and it was actually a sale. And what happened is the new owners had moved in. We got a call and the guy said, I'm surrounded by water and I don't know what to do. It's just gushing out everywhere. Can you help? So I called our plumber and he said, well, I'm just in another area at the moment. I'm in the middle of something. I can't stop. I'll be there in about an hour. I said, God, can't you get there any quicker? He said, no, it's going to be an hour. I'm really sorry. So I phoned him back. I said, hi, Dave. I'm sorry, it's going to be an hour. Is there any way you can shut off the water from the mains? He said, I don't know where it is. I said, what about from the road? He said, I don't know how. I said, oh, gosh, all right. So anyway, he kept calling. And when you hear that sound like a bath and you know that it's just kind of filling up around the person. And anyway, plumber arrived, went into the kitchen, which by this stage was inches deep in water. And what the guy had done is he'd moved the tap for the washing machine to the on position and the water was just gushing out. And the plumber went in and he literally just turned the tap a quarter turn. And the guy was so embarrassed and grateful at the same time. But yeah, we've had some really weird maintenance things over the years. The other thing that happened once actually was we had a staircase actually fell down. How weird is that? Yeah, literally our tenants were walking downstairs in the house and the staircase just fell down. Next thing you know, we've got a lawsuit on our hands from Quality Solicitors. If anyone's got to use an adjective like that about their company, then, you do start to wonder who they are. Anyway, got a letter saying, you neglected this house and everything else. And we're thinking, no, we didn't. We know we didn't. So anyway, what we ended up doing was we looked at the records for the property and realized that we'd done lots and lots of maintenance jobs. And the tenants were claiming that we never actually inspected the property and we never actually dealt with any of the issues that they'd mentioned. Particularly, they'd mentioned the staircase. Well, it just so happened that around the same period, they'd complained about the oven, the boiler needed fixing, there was a leaking tap, and we had receipts and records of all of that maintenance. And so we sent that on to the solicitors saying, do you really think we would miss a staircase and fix a tap? And shortly afterwards, we received a letter from them saying, we dropped the case against you. Relieved, we informed our insurers. But, you know, there are those out there that will always try and take advantage of situations, aren't there? That's just life, isn't it? Apart from that, yeah, looking forward to today. We've got a busy day on viewings. We've got an auction lot out, published on our website for the first time, the guide price of 140. And that's a little short lease flat. Lovely buy if you want income. You know, you'd be getting £900 per calendar month for that all day long. Cash only because the lease is short at 50 odd years. But look, hey, unless you found the secret of eternal youth, for most of us, it's going to outlive us, right? So it could be a good one for you. We've got good instructions coming on right across the board, from smaller flats right up to large houses. The external wall scandal seems to be growing. I heard it on the radio again this morning, and I do feel for you if you're in a flat and trapped in that situation. We hope there'll be some government legislation to annul this stupid situation. It's just not fair on anybody, buyers, sellers, or anybody. You know, nobody wants another Grenfell tragedy, of course, but by the same token, most of this is overkill in the way that they've approached it. They could have approached it in a way that was much better and easier, that would allow people to move on. Because in the end, if you think it through, you know, if there are serious problems, it's one thing. But if there are slight, you know, differences in internal wall insulation, chances are it's not going to be another Grenfell. It's something much smaller and less significant. But nonetheless, this enveloping legislation has caught so many people in this trap where they just can't sell their flats. And it's very frustrating. I mean, many of our potential vendors that we were ready to sell for, we flipped over to lettings for this reason, and it's worked really well. And since then, we've seen lots and lots of others coming to us in a similar situation. So if you're in that situation, my heart goes out to you. I do hear the government are discussing it. Will they do anything about it? Well, they've done a U-turn on everything else, haven't they? So nothing would surprise me. What I'm confused about is if you do that many U-turns, at what point do you disappear up here? Yeah, let's not go there. Anyway, I hope you have a fantastic day today. We'll be back tomorrow for another Ken at 10. Thanks for watching. I'll see you then. Bye now.